Let me start over again, since we weren't recording it. We'll call it to order, and it's 6:49. Okay, and just say your name so it's loud enough for it to be picked up. Who's present?
Lynette Fetterspill.
Julie Ramirez.
Doug Tomasini.
Luann Villarreal.
And the mayor and the city clerk is here also, Miss Yelton. And we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Okay, we'll
Do you have one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, pass that down to Luann.
And number 3 is discuss and or possible action on citizen education. And I didn't know if we had finished talking about that or not. So I left all these on here because I wasn't sure if anybody wanted to add anything or if, we needed to do anything specific to finalize any of these things.
So on the citizen education, Mickey asked me to look into having the San Antonio Feral Cat Coalition come out and hold a TNR class. Her response was only if she can get a guaranteed amount of people, because and her suggestion is we carpool to an existing class. Because she doesn't want to have a volunteer go through all that trouble and come out here and there's 5 people.
Yeah.
How many would she need?
At least 20.
That's not going to happen. I don't think you're going to get 20 people out here to do that.
I can, instead of having them do it, like San Antonio Feral Cats do it, I can, and I have a couple girlfriends that they trap, that's all they do. And come have like an impromptu, informative, this is how you set the trap, this is what you do, please go take the class so you can get the vouchers, be available for assistance, that sort of thing. But as far as holding a class,
How do they get their funding?
San Antonio Feral Cats fundraising.
Okay. Well, and my reason for asking that is basically you go to the class and you get the vouchers, so you can take in as many cats.
As many cats to trap.
Okay.
I took the class.
Well,
get vouchers.
to my knowledge, from what I've gathered from, I think I checked with Cassandra, we don't have to, it doesn't have to be San Antonio Feral Cat Coalition. We can create our own.
Right. No, they just have all the visual aids and the information and the resources.
Exactly.
But can anybody have a little class on how to trap a cat and what to do? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And still get vouchers?
No.
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 We would pay for the trap neuter release. So we would have to have the traps. We would have to have the vet lined up. We would teach the classes, and we would pay for the spay neuter.
Right, but not. See, the deal is what provides the problem there is not every vet will spay or neuter a feral cat.
But Brooks will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Brooks, the Humane Society, ACS. You just drive right up, drop them off. You're on your way. That's the easiest for me.
Exactly.
And
And
it's-
you don't have to when I've gone.
But you
to
would have
Brooks-
to. You would have to set up something through them to get that.
Yes, and I'm okay with that. I think the people who are suffering with the cats would probably be willing to do some kind of training and learn how to. If it's just setting the traps, and if we would maybe have Chris and or Gus, transport.
Now that is
them.
something they could do is transfer because there's no liability there. It's just a stray cat.
It's a stray cat,
not
exactly.
an owned animal.
Exactly.
So yeah, they could
So
totally
that would
round
make
them
it
up and-
easy for the people to kind of help get the cat population under
I think
control.
they'd be more willing
I
if
agree.
somebody's going to come and take them and they don't have to take their time.
All they
to
got to
it.
do is set the trap, and
call
then
us
let
when
us
it's
know
full.
that
Yeah.
it's there. So what we need to do is get with Brooks and
So yes, I'm not real sure how to set that up.
I can call it, or Doug,
that's something one of
could you
y'all
call
need to
him?
do.
Yeah,
As far as set up-
which one?
Brooks ACS Animal Control. It's San Antonio Humane Society at Brooks ACS. It's over there on by
Off Military Drive.
like if you were going, yeah, it's off Goliad and
It's behind the Walmart.
behind the
It's
Walmart.
behind the Walmart.
If you
Oh,
were
okay.
going to the Baptist Mission Trails Baptist,
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Can't miss it.
It might be Research Boulevard, but I'm not positive.
It's not Research.
Not Research.
It's
What street is it off of?
I don't know. I just
It's
know
city
it's behind.
city-based landing.
There you go.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's part of the city?
It's San Antonio Humane Society. And they have been known to have free or reduced cost
They
in
do.
the zip code.
They do.
Right, but the
Periodically,
grant runs out so fast.
I
It's
know.
so little money.
And from my perspective, I'm okay if they could give us a reduced price. You know, I don't want to pay a GP price, but and Doug, that's really what I need you to ask them about.
If we could get rescue discount pricing for us to bring animals there.
yeah,
That's what it's called?
Rescue discount pricing.
Rescue discount price.
It's a huge, huge difference, like $20.
yeah, and you know, let them know that you're from the city, and the city's going to be paying for this, and we're gonna, you know, we're trying to get our little ducks in a row and figure out what the plan of action is here.
Well, will they make us have like a feral cat organization set up before
No.
they do it?
No, because
No.
if you run it through, the city's covering it, so they're essentially creating you an account.
Oh, okay. I just thought maybe we would have to have that be part of the coalition. or whatever.
Oh,
No.
They
If
have
a
their-
cat
they
was
have their own
spayed or
thing.
neutered by an owner.
People can catch a feral and take it there, and the beauty of it is you don't have to get in line with the general public to bring your animal in. In fact, they don't want your feral there. You have to go around back and drop it
that's
off.
at ACS at
At
151. At Brooks City Base, they don't.
You have to get in line.
You have to get in line.
Oh,
with
do
people.
you?
Mhm. The only
So-
drive-through is at 151.
Okay, so the question, Doug, becomes,
How much?
well, no, is there a way
The
for
policy.
us to get some kind of,
Like a different procedure, quicker procedure just
Exactly.
for that, for the feral cat. Well,
whether it's once a day, I mean, you know, I'm sorry, one day a week
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, that we would be bringing them in. And the other thing that we're gonna need is more cat traps. We're gonna have to buy more traps.
When you say one day a week, what if we caught? I mean, are we just going to set traps one night?
They won't
and-
set unless you're bringing in large numbers of animals. They're not going to set you a day aside.
And that's fine. I know one lady who has like 20 cats right now. I know another
Sure.
guy's got 27 cats. I mean, the other people.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
my mom just found 2 pregnant kitties on her property.
Ugh.
They're out to here.
So if we can capture them and then have Gus and Chris pick them up, I mean, the people that trap them wouldn't even have to bring them
Right.
here. We just need to know where to go pick them up.
Right.
He could go pick them up and take them down there, and then pick
Well, they
'em up
haven't
in
had the
evening.
babies yet,
No, they haven't had the babies yet.
and they're
I was
close
just
to
there.
it looks like.
Yeah,
They're pretty-
'cause they're,
Yeah, they're not going to
full.
abort them. Yeah.
If they're that close, they won't abort them.
No.
No, those babies, they're moving.
But kittens are more adoptable than
They're
cats.
easy. Yeah, they'll find a home. They
Yeah.
will find a home for them versus a big cat.
Now, from what I understand, Deason will work with helping with adoption for puppies and kittens. So that's,
That's
They
good.
told you that?
no, somebody in the neighborhood says that they do that. And they did it for somebody not too long ago. It was Renee.
Oh, because I know it seemed like we were more successful with Oak Hills. Just they said that they would try to find a home for it if we just paid the euthanization fee, which would be their
That's the
spay or neuter
contribution.
fee.
Exactly.
Yeah, they would charge us for spay or neuter or for euthanization, and then use
Right.
that and spay or neuter and try to find a home.
And so if we had those animals, they have to be tended to, the females at least a day or two, the males overnight. Are we gonna ask the residents who trapped them to do that, or? Are we
I don't
gonna-
think they'll want to do that.
I
Some
don't-
people won't have cats inside, and then they're gonna have fleas. There's a whole.
Well,
lot of-
they won't even take them at ACS if they have fleas. I mean, they will, but they're gonna treat them
Oh,
and
they will
charge for
too.
that, yeah.
If
And
you
most of
take,
them are
if
gonna
you take
have
a
them.
feral cat to 151 to get, they won't put medicine on them for fleas.
At
Now, if
Brooks, they give them a pill. It's
a Capstar.
Capstar. Yeah.
Now, if they take a feral cat and it's got some obvious injury,
Right.
you get free meds for that. If you can handle the cat, they'll ask you, "Is this cat handleable?" If not, then they'll.
So if it does have fleas, they'll still go ahead and take it in and spay or neuter it
Yeah.
at 151. But you
'Cause,
said
you know, the
Brooks
people
not.
might-
Be better just
Yeah.
get an account at 151 if we're doing once a week
And
transport.
they have a bigger facility over there too.
They do. But my question is, Okay, so right now, you're thinking of targeting the people that have multiple cats.
The ones
That
who
way
are
we're
out of
guar-
control right now.
Okay.
We need to
That way
reduce
we'll
that
guarantee we'll
population.
probably have a huge
Oh, yeah.
amount going.
Oh, yeah.
But in the
Yeah.
future, to trap them, we may only, by the time, let's say, we go every Thursday to drop some off, we might
By
only have
then,
two.
maybe we have something in place with Decent
Oh, okay.
that it's just, okay, a stray cat,
Bring it in.
and bring it in. It'd be
I would make sure you ask Decent if they spay and neuter feral cats.
a
They-
good question.
They may not.
Catherine, talking about Decent, have we heard?
No. I don't know if that's gonna be another one that if you don't hear from them, they don't
Well,
wanna do it.
But you said that they sent it off to
To their attorney.
attorney. Yeah. Would you mind following up with a call or email or something with?
What's the 151? that y'all-
It's San
Animal
Antonio
Care
Humane.
Services.
That's what it's called, 151?
Well,
And that's just what I call it because
it's a-
that's where it's at.
it's
It's
on
Animal
151.
Care Services.
Okay.
And so at Animal Care Services, they also run the community cat program. That's who you're going to need to reach out to if you want to use that that location. And she's going to tell you, the lady who runs that, his name is Fumiko. She's going to tell you to take the class, get the vouchers, and bring the cats. She's gonna tell you.
But that's my issue with that is we're depleting their grant money when we don't need their grant money.
Right. See to see what she'll work out with you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm
But
saying,
that's-
I don't think all of us would have to. If one of us takes the class, then we can take the cats. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll give you whatever vouchers,
Yeah,
however
I
many
mean-
vouchers you want.
So just one person would have to take the class, so that way we'd have that and could
Right,
do-
but she's trying to set up something so we don't have to use their grant money.
Right.
You know.
Let someone else use the grant money that's
Yeah, let
in
someone
more
else
dire
use it.
need.
Yeah.
Makes
I mean, because we have the funding to do it.
right.
I don't
Now,
know.
if someone spay or neuters a cat and then they let it loose, let's say, and it gets captured, and we take it in, well, if they haven't clipped the ear.
Oh.
Back in the day, they didn't, and they don't
Well,
for
owned cats,
home-
like my
owned
personal cats don't have their ears clipped.
Yeah,
don't
so do
either.
they know before they start trying to spay or neuter it that it's been spayed or neutered?
They usually put a tattoo on them, don't they?
They have a tattoo.
Some
Oh,
vets
mine
put
has
a
a tattoo.
tattoo. Not all do. You have to. I mean, males obviously gonna know. Females, if they don't have the tattoo, they open them up.
Yeah.
Oof.
Boy. And see, mine.
So
Right,
then
way
we
to
would be
tell.
charged
Right,
'Cause I
whether,
know
yeah.
mine has a tattoo. so
Right.
it's-
So I think we follow the standard protocol, which is tip the ear.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
especially out here because people
Yeah.
are gonna move, leave their cat. How are we gonna know?
There's a cat that lives under the house.
Oh, that's a big cat. He's
It
bumping the
might
house
be,
up.
yeah, must be the cat. There was a cat fight last week under the
Oh,
house.
lovely.
Oh, it's
Speaking
funny, a
of
male and a
cats.
female.
I had to stomp on it to get them to stop it.
The squirrels are allowed too, if you ever get a squirrel on top of the
Yeah,
house.
yeah, I've had that up in the,
Jeez.
Okay, so you're going to check with Brooks then, Doug, yes?
Yeah, I can call
Okay.
Brooks and 151 or
And
no?
yeah, I do Brooks and
Yeah, the
151.
community
Yeah.
cat program at ACS.
Okay. And then you're going to follow up with Deason on where we are with the contract.
But all of them are the animal care
Yes.
services, though,
Yes.
right? They're
No.
just different.
So Brooks City Base and the Humane Society off of Fredericksburg Road is one thing.
Oh, okay.
Animal Care Services is another. Is the
Where
whole
is
other.
Animal Care Services located? Is that the one
Like
by the zoo?
151.
That's the
No,
only
the
one.
one by the zoo. The adoption facility by the zoo is the Paul Jolly Center, and that is run by the Animal Defense League currently. They won the last contract for that.
And what is the one
They
on
provide those
Fredericksburg?
services there.
Fredericksburg.
The Humane Society.
That's the
Humane
Society.
Society.
I know that one.
And that's who won the contract for the Brooks City Base.
Got it. Okay.
So I'll get with them to see about the contract with Deasons and if they spay or neuter feral cats.
Okay. Okay, so back on to the citizen education. So trap, neuter, release, I think what we came up with was one or two people could take the class.
To start that,
to
and then we can
just to
give the
teach.
vouchers to Chris. I can,
Yeah,
whoever comes takes a class in town, and then just we can accumulate vouchers and start taking cats
So
once
for-
there's stuff.
for a short-term, long-term view of the number of traps that we're gonna need Do you remember how much the cat traps are? They're smaller.
We've never purchased any.
Oh, it was John Crickmer who bought them and donated them to the city.
We just purchased
So
those.
you need a humane live release true catch cat trap. That's what it's called.
Yeah, because I know they have to be humane traps.
Yeah.
I think
Humane
we have
live
some in there,
release?
don't
Live
we?
release. It's called a true catch, TRU catch cat trap.
I don't know if those are the ones we
True
need,
catch
but we
trap.
did have some in that closet.
I think that's a rodent trap, like a varmint,
Oh.
varmint trap, like a, I don't know, not squirrel so much as a raccoon or whatever.
Oh. But it's the live humane trap. That's the same ones we get for the dogs. They're expensive too.
Are they?
Ones for the dogs is.
I heard a noise, but I ignored it.
It says trap and release live animal catch. I can't get back there.
Yeah, live animal catch, that's what she,
That should be it.
that's what she.
So we have, I think we have 2 of those. I know there's one I see in there.
Yeah, and someone has the other one. I'll have to ask who.
Yeah. And we can find out how much those are, maybe by, I mean, if we figure out how many we need to transport.
However many, I mean, you've got to, I would not overextend yourself. I wouldn't do more than like 5 at a time.
That's what I was thinking, but
Because
also,
that's a lot of peeing
That's a
poop,
lot of hauling.
and that's a lot of screaming cats. And, you
And
gotta
we can
cover
only,
'em.
if we're gonna go all the way out to 151, we only do want to make one trip.
well, so another question I have then is if, I know Brooks says if it's a feral, it has to be in a trap.
Oh, yeah.
But since, would that apply to us if we're bringing them in and we're paying for them to be fixed? Because we have cages. We have carriers.
For feral cats, the reason they have to be in a trap is because they do not remove the cat from the trap when they sedate it. They poke it. It's easier with all the holes around it. They poke it with the sedation to get it out of the trap
Until it
because
passes out.
yeah, that's why. Now, if it's
So-
a friendly cat,
You could put it in a carrier.
sure,
Yeah.
but that's why they ask that because and
Then they can't get to the cat.
the cat's not gonna get no help if someone's gonna get hurt. It's
out
easier
fast.
to back that cat into the corner, poke it real quick, and it's night night.
So why don't you check on 5 traps? Or have Chris check on 5 traps. Let him do that work. And then we can get that on the agenda for the next meeting for a purchase of some additional traps. Okay. And I don't know why I always get a red pen from you. It's not my favorite color. Okay, so what other education stuff are we talking about?
Somebody mentioned postcards, I think, the last time. I don't know if we still want to do that.
Yeah, we could do that. Oh, that reminds me, I have the excess letters and
Okay.
newsletters out in the car. We could do that if you had a specific message that, I'm just thinking a postcard mailer that has, we can do one a month or once a quarter or whatever you guys think is right on whatever the message is that we want to get out. And to me, rabies, vaccinations.
It could be facts. It could be don't forget to microchip, or this is what I think we should do once a month. We're gonna start trapping cats. This is
Definitely the weather, take the weather into consideration. If it's too hot, make sure they have shade and water. When it's cold, make sure they're,
right.
things like that.
A
There's
little
lots
side note, I have a little scar right here on my hand because I was trying to make an outdoor place for feral cats. And so I bought 2 Sterlite bins. And then you take the bigger one, you put the smaller one in there, and you put styrofoam.
I've seen that.
And I'm trying to cut the hole out, and so that was $300 trip to the vet. I mean, not to the vet, to the doctor.
To the vet. No, you went to the vet,
To get stitches.
I think when we have things up and running, the postcards would be good for announcements like, coming up, we've got,
Microchip.
the microchipping event or, events that we
vaccines, the vaccine on.
would be
Oh, for
good.
sure.
You can
Yeah.
give them
I
a
think we need to
notice
keep
and let
it
them
once a
know that
month
we
so
have
people are
traps
gonna
available if there's any
Yeah,
feral
okay.
cats.
See,
around.
know what to look
Give us a
for,
call.
and then there'll be a notice that we're taking action, and this is
Exactly.
we're
And I don't know if
concerned.
you want to start any that that are stating, the ordinances, or you're gonna save that for your newsletter, since that was a very popular topic?
Oh, what was it? I saw
I'm
that.
everybody's best friend now.
I know how popular a topic something else was. Trucks.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Hey.
So I don't know if you want.
Yeah, let's do animals next. That
Yeah.
was so much fun.
Well, there was something in the newsletter about the animals, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
I don't recall either.
I thought there was.
There may have been. It
Oh,
might
I
have
think
just
there
been
was about the
something
animal
brief.
ordinance.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
it was short, but
Yeah, and some of the things, the burning, and I think the animals and the who to call, stuff like that was from a previous newsletter, but they were still relevant. But yeah, I mean, we can create whatever you guys want to do, and then Sterling's real good. One of the challenges is, and for postcard size, it may not be as expensive, but the newsletters, to do the 1,300 plus that we did, if I went black and white, it was like $299, but if I went color, it was $400. On this issue, I wanted to go color because we had advertising for the businesses that are out here, and I just thought it was kind of important. It's our
Right.
economic development type deal. But in a postcard, if we can stay with 2 colors, so
Oh, yeah.
really you get 3 colors because you get your card color plus 2 other colors. So
The
they call that
text
2
colors.
colors. It's a lot cheaper to do that. But I think color does grab people's attention as opposed to just a plain black and white type thing. And I think if we could come up with, from a marketing perspective, a uniform type
Layout.
layout in some fashion, color, borders, something, so that when it shows up, they get used to seeing it and knowing
And
what,
you want
what
it
that
only
is.
one-sided because the address is going to go on the other, address and postage.
Yeah, but you can still put a little blurb on the bottom on the address side. I mean, you have a little bit of room to work with.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the message is on one side. It's somebody's dog.
I'm off work.
I know you are.
so
City Hall's closed.
I can try to find, I'm sure I can find another alderman to sponsor, send it, doing that. So,
I think we need to come up with, when do we want to start this, and maybe the first 3 messages that we want to send out. One of the challenges, I think, is we don't have everything fully baked yet. So like if we said, the ordinance says you have to have your animals microchipped. Right now, we're really
Can't
focusing
offer
on
the
strays
microchipping
right
yet.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't really have the capacity to take on
Right.
your pet. So we might think about when we want to start to do that, and kind of maybe the first 3 messages that we want to kind of do on that. So,
Well, you can't do the microchipping until we purchase a microchip machine.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
obvious.
But you can put, it's getting hot, about fleas.
I would
Don't
do
forget
that,
your
yeah.
flea prevention.
Or it's
Treat
puppy
the yards,
mosquitoes,
breeding
birds and eggs,
season.
breeding
you know?
spay
season.
and neuter.
Yeah.
You can
What,
put.
can't you put on there, please keep your pets in your yard, it's safe?
City does not have owner surrender options.
Well, and so that's one of the things, if we're going to talk about microchipping, for example, then, if we say something like the city has an ordinance, it's now required, then we have to be able to put on there, where do you go to get that done?
Yeah.
I mean, the city can do it, and it's going to cost this amount of money, and we'll do it on, every other Saturday or whatever time we decide
Yeah,
to do that.
it needs to be
So we kind of
organized
need to
first.
have the programs before we start mailing them
well,
out.
the stuff you can just start off with then would just be to remind people,
Education.
Just
to remind
educate
people
them.
they have to keep their pets on their property, stuff that's already in the
Because
ordinance.
that's important, that's
It
a big
is.
deal, because I don't know if Chris told you, but I was out there feeding the last 2 German Shepherds because they're already gonna be picked up by a German Shepherd rescue. And the man across the street, his dogs run across the street, all of them, and they're just in the middle of the street.
Chad's.
So I asked him, I said,
Really?
would you well, you know what he told Chris? He told him, he says, well, if they got out, they got out.
I know.
So he didn't care.
So I sent the marshal over.
They
to
get
talk to
run
him.
over, they got
To
run
Chad?
over.
Mhm.
He said if they get run over, they get run over. That's exactly what he said to Chris. It's like it's
I was driving up Priest Road one day and coming towards the water tower, and on the left, there's usually somebody does a garage sale about halfway between Lamb and there. Across the street from them, I'm driving and I'm not speeding because I'm slowing down to see what they have. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw a flash. and these people across the street had opened their gate. They were going to leave, and their dog ran in front of my car. And I slammed on the brakes, and I was like, oh my God, you know, and they go, it's okay. No,
Like it's no big deal. That could have been an accident, you know?
Exactly.
Not if you gotta clean it up, it isn't.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good
I think
idea.
that's a very big, it needs to keep
things that are really
hammered out.
relevant.
Yeah, there's stuff like that you could
But
still
if we're
put on
gonna
a
put out and
postcard.
spend, you know, the money to have something go out, it needs to be something that people are gonna.
The
So how
important
about for the
stuff.
first one we mentioned, pick 3 topics. Contain your animals,
The weather.
the weather could be
Please,
one.
what would you, please, maybe they keep them safe, healthy, I don't know.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
like
you're asking way too much right there. Good Lord, we
guess
gotta
I-
get them contained first.
Really?
Contain,
Just look at the ordinance and there's probably something on there that,
well, we could say that microchipping is required.
I mean, just pick stuff out of the ordinance.
Yes, vaccinations
Well, yeah,
and
that's
microchipping.
a
So
good
if we
one.
did just those 3,
Rabies
contain,
vaccinations, yeah.
yeah. Now, on the microchipping, do we need them to provide us anything on the microchip, the registration?
What do you mean, the owner?
Yeah,
No,
they don't need to provide us anything, okay.
their
We would
name
just
and phone
provide
number.
them with the web address that they need to go and
No,
register
I
their
meant like if
animal.
they already have their animal microchipped.
Oh,
Because we were using it as kind of a registration here in the
Depends
city.
on if we want to keep that on record here in the city. If we
So
wanna
how
keep
do we
that
know
on
they have it
record.
if they tell us?
I mean, you need to
Scan 'em.
scan it,
Scan it.
verify, and then we can make a separate file. But I mean, you don't have to keep track. I mean,
Okay.
you're gonna scan it,
We're
and
gonna
if
scan
it
it anyway.
comes up, but I mean,
But how do we,
it's a lot of record keeping,
confirm
otherwise a lot.
that the dogs are microchipped? I guess if they're just picked
they
up, we
should
scan
have.
them.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
we
don't
would,
have collars on with their little.
Yeah,
Thing, you
if
just
they've
scan
got
it.
a number in them, then you scan it
Where
and
do
it's gonna
they
pop up.
typically insert
because
the
if they're
Back
in
in
their
the
house,
shoulders,
we're not gonna
right?
care if they're really
Like
chipped.
in the shoulders?
Keep them.
Not that far down.
Oh,
Like your house
Well,
is
it
big.
could be like between the shoulder
Yeah.
blades, not quite at the back, that the fat scruffy part.
Yeah, okay. And it's
But
small,
you,
it's real small,
It's like a
right?
piece of rice.
Okay,
But you
perfect.
need to scan all over
Yeah.
because they can migrate. So you start at the head, and you go
Oh my
both sides of the
gosh.
neck, all the way down the front legs, and it can go down the back. You got to double check.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't know
I
that.
did not know that either. Okay, does somebody want to take on developing the first message for a postcard? We can help with the graphics, if you just get the message. Do we have a color scheme we want to use? I've heard yellow's good, red's good for attention.
Probably, if you get too dark of a red, then even black would be hard to read off of it, so
Yeah.
probably yellow or light blue.
Because I think if we want to be consistent.
For the
in-
card color, I think we should do like a yellow or like a lime green.
With little paw prints.
Fluorescent green,
With little
Something
paw prints
Like a
on it.
fluorescent
little
green.
paw prints on it.
Yeah, like a paw print border.
Paw print
So a
border.
lime green or a neon,
And if you did lime green, you could do like black and blue.
yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
they're
Black
cheaper.
would be
color.
better. So then you're in 2 colors right there. you know.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Just
lot
lime
cheaper.
green and black, you mean? Or
Uh-huh.
black and blue print?
No, black print,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
black on green.
Okay, so Sterling can put that together for us.
I mean, I can design the card and then just put in the content. I don't have a problem doing that.
As a template type deal, and then you
Yeah.
just change the messages.
Yeah, easy.
Perfect, okay.
Black on.
And the first 3 are gonna be vaccinations, keeping your yard, and what else?
No, not the. Oh yeah,
Microchipping.
contain animals,
Well,
weather advisory, and rabies vaccination.
Oh, no microchipping?
Well, how
Well, until
important
we can
is
tell
that?
them
You know,
where to
Where
go,
to go.
Yeah.
we can provide the information. You can
Got
let's
it.
do rabies, vaccines,
Containment, rabies,
containment,
and
and
weather.
then weather.
Okay.
Offer
And
your
what
pet
about the
water,
weather?
keep them
Oh,
cool.
okay, you mean.
the hot one, yeah. Reminders of
Oh, okay.
shade, water, food,
Well, I mean, you could,
place to run.
I mean, you could I mean, if there's still room, you could add they can get it microchipped anyway.
Yeah, they
Doesn't have-
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be.
Well, I mean,
But
because
it might be good to tie it in once we have that, microchipping.
Yeah, that
we
event
tie it
set
all
up.
together and put
Exactly.
it all on
Yeah,
there.
then it could be like, did you know it's a requirement to
by the
microchip?
way,
And by
you
the
can call us
way, yeah.
because you're here.
And by the
Yeah.
way, we have an event coming up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that way it could be like the headline of that postcard for that month.
There you go.
Microchipping available.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Okay, so that will work on that. The next, so
Is-
think about what you would want to do on the next message, but probably we ought to wait until, because we're moving along here, so
Sure.
we'll maybe have a different message next time.
okay.
Okay,
And number 4 is discuss and possible action on microchip, but we
Well,
kind
we
of did
covered
that
that
already,
already,
so we'll
yeah.
check that one off. The foster and adoption program is next. Discuss and or possible action on the foster and adoption program.
So the last time in the meeting at the very end, you mentioned, and we said, Mickey and I said, you just need to let us know how we can help with, the funding and stuff. But I hadn't heard anything, so I didn't know,
Well,
was that still going on or?
as far as yes, I mean, I have animals from here currently at my house, multiple ones. But as far as I mean, I need a guideline of what you want to provide.
so here's,
Yes, I've
Like
got
what
one
you want to
too.
set up. Do you want to start asking for donations for people that are fostering? Because the people that are fostering are sitting at this table, and Michelle.
Right.
so I thought we talked about this last time, was that if there's an animal that y'all are gonna pick up, make sure Chris knows.
Right,
So-
he does.
So that he can come, we need the report, whatever the template is with
Right,
all the details.
Right.
And then that dog actually becomes city property. And it's for us to handle in what fashion we think is appropriate. What do you feel is an appropriate daily fee for fostering?
oh gosh, I don't even know what to answer to that.
Well,
And how long are we gonna foster that
No,
that the city's gonna
Just-
pay?
So here's my thought. We, by law, have to hold the animals minimum of 3 days. Sometimes that's tough to do. They're
Come
gonna-
upon a weekend or something?
Well, that's just the minimum,
Yeah.
okay? I'd like to see it a little bit longer than that, to give people an opportunity, if it is their lost animal,
Sure.
to be able to claim it. But in the meantime, during that time period, whoever's fostering is going to be searching with a vet, whether it be Decent or, what was that, Callahan, on some kind of a package deal to have any animal that we bring into the program has to be vetted, it has to be spayed neutered, it has to be microchipped, it has to be all those things. And then after that, if the rescue can find a home for that animal, that's fine. Or if we're gonna put them on the transport and send them up north, that's fine. But the city would pay for the daily fostering, whatever that fee is, to include food and,
Right.
whatever it is that y'all do with them, plus the medical that goes with that.
Up to a
that's-
certain amount of days.
Well, we need to determine what those days are. 3 days is really short.
I think just providing what most places do is just provide the supplies, like i.e. a crate, any kind of bowls, the food. The food is the most expensive part.
Exactly.
It is.
So, and say like the puppies that I picked up, I mean, I'm gonna find a rescue for them. I mean, I have them all in the pictures, just like you told me to do. I have in pictures, and I have the template started, so we can do it appropriately, of course. But I mean, I'm fine with holding them.
It's just the
Until-
out-of-pocket that you're incurring just for feeding
Right.
them.
I mean, but for me, it's a
housing
little
them.
different for me.
Right.
Because I already have a lot of donations and I just say what I need. But I mean, for everybody else, for there to be an incentive, you know. And, I mean, I'm going to run
Yeah, 'cause I
out.
don't
Of
have
course,
that.
this is
I
like
don't
my
have
fourth litter of
donations.
puppies. My bin is getting a
coming out
little
of my
low on
pocket.
puppy food.
Well, see, we
But
could buy,
as far as vetting them, I'm not. I'm not looking for y'all to vet them. The rescue's gonna pay for that.
Right.
Okay, well then that's fine.
I thought,
Unless something comes up, like they need to go to the vet, but as far as like spay
Exactly.
and neuter, I mean, I've already wormed the puppies. I already gave them their flea medication because they were covered in fleas and seed ticks. I fed them, I've washed them, you know, all
That's
that
like the
stuff.
dog I have now. The rescue vetted him. They flea medicine, and she'll come and give him the flea medicine next month again. And I'm just
At no
keeping him
cost?
at no cost. The rescue's paying for it.
okay, but I thought you had said it's easier to get a dog adopted that has already had that done.
Well, the
It
problem
is
with the
if we're
one I
gonna
have
hold
right
on
now,
to them.
the
if
one
we're
I have
holding on
right
to
now,
them.
he's
He's not adoptable. He's
No.
a hospice care.
Oh, the old kitty.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Buddy,
yes,
my buddy.
like if it's long term, it's super
Like,
easy
I
for me
give
to
him
find
the
something
name
for
Buddy.
puppies. But the adult dogs,
Mm-hmm.
like say if he wasn't sick,
And then
he
like
needs
this-
to go to the vet and get
like-
vetted, so he's already ready to go as soon as somebody comes forward, or we can put him up for adoption. Yes,
And
on
see,
the adult dogs,
tomorrow-
absolutely.
Tomorrow they're gonna go pick up the German Shepherds, and we're gonna find out what kind of condition they're in. I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, German Shepherds, I sent, Michelle was supposed to be putting together a list of different resources, so we were gonna have all the different things, places that are,
Yeah, well,
do
that, and that's what,
adoptions
that, and she's got, the group that I'm working with has that, they have that information. So, but we're just gonna see what kind of condition they're in, if
well,
they can go on.
but I had, there's a gentleman that works with Canine.
Right,
Forget what it's
for the
called, where
police
they
officer,
train for the police dogs, the security
Yeah.
dogs.
I
And
think
he
they do the same
actually, one of the puppies that we sent over to Oak Hills a couple years ago, I
Yeah,
said,
he's working
a
with him
good
now."
dog. I hate to see him put down. And he says, well, can I go check him out? And I said, yeah. And he says, you know what? He's a perfect for what we're looking for. So we paid the vet bill and he took it. So
These
it
two
worked out
German
well.
Shepherds are old though. They're
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
old. They're not, they're old. They're probably gonna be along the same line as Buddy, if I'm not
So-
mistaken.
Then what we could do when you're talking about supplies, what you need are crates, food, bowls.
Anything
Leashes,
to foster with
A leash, a collar, because those are things that have to be bought, you
Yeah.
know.
Collars or just
Collars.
leash?
Well, I probably
Both.
have a lot of that stuff.
Well, but
Not
my,
except for the food.
well, and
the
that
bowls.
was what I was thinking. We could order a pallet of food,
Of dog food?
Gosh,
of dog
that's a
food.
lot.
Oh,
A pallet?
they go through it, but
Then
we'd have
we
to have
go
a
through
place
it,
to
believe me.
put it.
Really?
Without
Oh, yes,
getting,
because
without
I've
getting
been
rodents
feeding
and
all the
stuff
dogs
in it.
out there
And
for
we
all that
really
time, and
don't.
then the German Shepherds, you know, and you find more, and they eat.
Yeah.
You can feed them, they will eat.
Yeah.
so when you say you have a lot of that stuff.
I have like
but-
leashes.
But do the others?
No.
Right.
I could
don't.
bring it.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I could. I'm happy to donate my excess whatever that I don't need. People give me stuff all the time. I mean, you know what? We
Right.
can start a little
the
donation.
Crates, so the crates, we have out in the maintenance yard some metal, you know, the big wire cages. I think we have 3 or 4.
You're,
of
talking,
those.
you're not talking about the traps, are
No,
you?
no, no,
Because
no,
we've
not
got
the traps.
the big traps that look
No, no,
like
no.
wire cages.
These are the ones that were donated that
Oh,
that were
okay.
over at
I
Dawn's
have-
that they went and picked up.
I have no idea what's up.
Those are the ones that I need somebody to go take a look at, figure out
I can go.
that they, you know, what parts are missing. We can order, you know, the carriers where the little screws, some of them might be missing that. I know one's missing the front grate. Some of them, maybe they need to be powder coated because they're getting kind of rusty. So kind of assess them for that and maybe do some cleanup on them and figure out what we have. And I am shameless. I will go to a garage sale
Oh, yeah.
and I'll say,
Oh, yeah, I pick up
I'll
stuff,
say,
yeah.
that pet carrier over there, may I ask, if you don't sell that by the end of the day, would you consider donating that? And
Oh,
they go,
yeah.
oh, just take it.
Take it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I picked up several like that.
I need
No,
to
I'm
do
sure I
that.
could find some more. My backyard is full.
So
of
really
them.
it's food
the
that,
food is the most expensive part.
Yeah.
when we talk about food, is there a certain type? It doesn't matter.
I would. You need a puppy food, a puppy crunchy, and then an adult dog food.
And
And maybe-
some soft food.
I was gonna say
Right.
some soft food,
I would. I mean,
My
yeah.
buddy can't eat
Some
hard food.
cans.
some cans.
some cans. Okay, so we could go to like Sam's or something and buy all
It's
that.
totally doable. Yeah, and you can buy like the big bags of pedigree for I think at Sam's it's $22, and then I save the plastic litter containers and that's how I pass out to my fosters, is I fill it, and they, that way I'm helping them. I'm not gonna endlessly supply them. They have to
Exactly.
contribute some.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how I disperse it.
Okay. So we can do some of that. We can take care of that. I mean, if there's bowls we could, to be honest, if we put out a request for donations of collars, leashes, bowls,
Sure,
stuff like
people are
that,
gonna bring
people will,
stuff.
they'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linens, towels.
I was
That could
about
be
to
a
say some
blurb on the
towels, old towels.
It could be on the
postcard too.
postcard.
That's true. That could be a
Towels.
postcard.
Donation.
Donations accepted, not just monetary.
Old quilts or blankets, because those,
All
you
kinds.
always need those.
Right.
I could put like needed donations, ... blank, food, bowls, collars,
Any kind of
leashes,
bed,
towels,
any kind of puppy
blankets.
bedding, bed bedding, dog bedding, stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Okay.
blankets, sheets.
Okay.
I'll just put a,
In fact, I have some sheets. My sister bought some new sheets. She must sleep really bad because she ripped the sheets, the fitted sheets, like all tore up.
I'll just
She
the same
must
thing. I'm like,
fight herself. What do you do? So she bought some new sheets, and I said, just wash those, and we'll donate them to
There you go.
the college.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Well, that's it on that one, huh?
Well, I have a question.
Oh.
Maybe I'm lost somewhere. So we're picking up, if we're picking up, like, say the dog, the mama dog.
Mhm.
What are we doing with her? Or, I know you've always got a plan, but there's not just that one,
Right,
There was
so
the
we
black
have to
one, there
take-
was,
So all the ones that Ann took, she sent me all the rescue that Luann is helping Luann. I'm in contact with her, and she's sending me a picture. And so I have to I'm creating a file for all the intake, and I have a template, and I'm going to put all the information. So say I go pick up the mama dog, so she can get intaked into the city, and I just have to get with Mickey and be like, okay, she needs to go to the vet. That's set up. This is where I'm
Get
taking
with Chris.
her. Or right,
Yeah, with Chris.
with,
Yeah.
with Chris.
Or me.
And for any dog, like if I go back and get her, and then we do provide the vetting. Now, if I pick her up, I have to hold her. There's no place for her.
I mean,
to
at
go.
some point,
See,
we would
that's
have to
the thing
either,
is,
at some point,
Right.
you
So
either,
if it's my choice to pick her up,
yeah,
then I'm.
yeah. Either you keep
We
her
have no
or you
places.
find
Like
a
we can't just
home.
go around picking up dogs unless
That's
you're
what I
gonna
mean.
hold. Yeah.
That's
No.
exactly what I mean.
We aren't
There's
there
only
yet.
so many of us.
I know that's what my
Right.
concern was. It's like,
Exactly.
okay, you might get attached to, not you specifically,
Right.
but, someone else gets attached to the dog and says, well, I'm still fostering it and I need more food. A month goes by and it's like, okay.
I know you gotta draw the line. And
Yeah,
there's,
but
and
that's
there
what
has
I'm
to be
saying. We
somebody
need-
in
where's the
charge of
line?
that. Like there
Yeah.
has to be somebody in charge of that foster program.
Okay.
So
Because
someone
you're
who's
not
willing
just
to.
going to let anybody who wants to foster, correct? Because that's what you talked about the
right,
last
there
time
needs
is,
to be a
a
little.
There needs to be a guideline. There needs
Yeah,
to
there
be,
needs to
make
be a
sure that
guideline.
they
They
can
need
take
to
care
be-
of.
They've got.
Do you want to be
the-
in charge of
They
that?
can,
I'll
they,
do
they
it.
can take care of
Sure.
the animal, the pet. They have to be able to take care of it.
I can do the foster program.
Provide a
That's,
safe
I'm
home.
fine with
Because
that.
that's what we're trying to take them out of. But
But I mean, for right
Yeah,
now,
so put them right back out there in
we're
the-
picking up on what I have room.
Yeah.
Have room for.
So,
But I mean, in dire need.
Patrol.
That's where we're at.
Right.
So
Right.
until we
Because I
have,
was like,
oh gosh,
what are
no.
we doing here?
No, Anne has room for the 2 shepherds.
Mm-hmm.
If-
It is.
which Anne?
She's with the Never Lost
The one that Luann was
Rescue
working
and
with that picked
Sanctuary.
Oh, okay.
She has room to hold the shepherds until the rescue.
Because she's got a
them.
rescue lined up for
But
them
I
already.
still have, but she also knows I still have to intake them through the city.
Yes.
I've already talked to her. We're on the same page.
Okay.
So she knows.
So if you wanna
And
be in
I told
charge-
her, no go around picking up animals
Yeah.
anymore. You
Yeah.
gotta run them through me so I
Yeah.
can get them intaked
Right.
because we can't
It's
make
hard.
a difference without proving that we have a problem.
Exactly. That's true. And that's kind of where I was kind of going with that is we need to be able to quantify for the public
Oh, yeah.
what has
we've
been
done.
done. Yeah.
Right. So
How many have been picked up and what's the disposition
and
of
who's
them?
and the rescues that have been helping us and the fosters that have been helping
Well,
us.
and so that's
that
what I
the
would
community
suggest.
is interested in making a difference.
Exactly, and that's what I would suggest when we talk about donations for towels, blankets, leashes, whatever. If you would like to maybe identify some of those rescues that
Sure.
we could say, and donations to these rescues would be appreciated.
Right, because they're helping us make a
They
difference.
are.
I mean, Anne's covering all the food
Absolutely,
for
yeah.
them. She picked up 9 animals that day.
9.
Crazy.
So,
Who's got the puppies?
which
that were,
puppies?
That were picked up the street here, where we had to take them to the
The one
vet?
that had the emergency C-section, 10
C-section?
puppies.
Her name is Jackie. They're 5 weeks old now.
And you had them?
Oh,
Oh, I thought you had them.
I don't have them. No,
Well,
I never
kinda,
had
sort
them.
of, but not really.
They're my responsibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to facilitate
See,
with
and what
her.
I'm afraid of is the old German Shepherd. She might be pregnant.
The-
She just came out of
well,
heat.
I've already talked to Ann. We're gonna get her as soon as I set up with Chris about the intake and I get the vetting part sorted.
Because she
Then
she
she's
was
gonna
in heat
go
and
straight
the
to the
dog was
snip,
right
snip.
there.
Okay,
I'll get that for sure.
okay.
So if you want to be in charge of the foster program,
Okay.
like the food and stuff, it'd probably be best to just bring it to you, and then if you need to,
Well, I'd rather
disperse it
she
out.
work with Chris on that.
Yeah,
Because I
well.
mentioned to Chris this morning about our conversation this weekend, that if you, or basically anyone that's on the committee, that if they have a need for those supplies, that he has permission to allow you to utilize those supplies, even if it's after hours. We can make arrangements. Maybe you or I could get a key to, I don't have access to the gate or wherever we're going to end up putting that stuff.
I'm sure I do. Key
But,
box.
you know, because I don't know that we
It's
want
just there's no room out there.
I know.
Because his Conic,
It's full. Well,
well, with that tractor, with the mower in
yeah,
there,
but
you
he's
can't get
also
around it.
got my pressure washer and my generator, so I can get those out of there and make
Oh,
room.
yeah, that's true.
I'll store a few bags of food.
That's true.
Yeah. So we'll figure that out. But
Sure.
he knows that.
Yeah, he was a little nervous about releasing any.
No, I know. But I told him, I said, as long as they're part of the committee and they need a trap or they need a cage or whatever, they're free to have access to that. I do want to run something by you, though.
You can just-
Should we work with the attorney to have a waiver drawn up
For
the
what?
committee members who are out capturing animals?
Oh, I'm sure the attorney will say yes.
I'm sure he will,
Well, yeah, 'cause I mean,
That's a
what
liability,
if-
yeah, if we get hurt.
What if Julie would have gotten bit? That,
I know.
that
Right,
mama dog
if we
was
get
not
bit or-
friendly.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or
Yeah.
Yeah,
and there needs to be like some sort of incident report
Gosh,
Right.
the attorney will
Like-
ask for a waiver for
because
anything.
Yeah, yes, they
Miss
will.
Ramos was
it was a legal
passed
assistant for
out over
5
that
years,
mama
they
dog,
sure
and she
will.
still is. I've
And when
got to
in
go pick her
doubt,
up because
write
she
it
wants
out.
her gone
Yeah.
before
would you
something drastic happens.
Follow up with Cassandra on a waiver for the council,
I
the
know,
committee?
I'm bad, I woke up to dogs not even thinking about being bit, I'm like, hello.
Yeah. See, and I'm the opposite. I'm like,
No, I
oh.
don't, I just walk
stay-
right
I
on up
stay
there.
away. I got bit by a German Shepherd through a fence when I was a
And she's,
kid.
you know, when we asked for this, she's probably gonna also, then her next statement's probably gonna be, you also have to write down what they're gonna do. I know, you know, what we're allowing them to do.
As they are capturing it. It's just
Yeah.
capturing animals.
I know, but she's,
Capturing and handling the
That's
animals.
probably-
That's it.
Handling covers a lot, so.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
but she's, I'm just saying,
I know.
Well, yeah,
She's
cover all
very
the
thorough.
bases.
She's very thorough.
she's gonna say, well, do we have an ordinance for that, or do we have a resolution?
part
Well,
of
what
our
does
animal
the
control
Animal
program.
Control
I
Advisory
know, I
Committee say?
know, I know.
Okay.
That was 5?
That was 5.
Okay.
Okay, Doug. Number 6.
I think we've already
Yeah,
pretty much done that one.
On the webpage?
Yeah, didn't we,
We haven't
CJ
really
Ask
said
ask CJ to
anything.
do
CJ's
that? I thought
gonna
we
set
asked
up
her
a
to, yeah, I
page.
thought we did.
And Lynette and Julie were going to work on the template and the form. So I think we're good on
Yeah, I
that.
think we already asked them to do that.
And then that follows along the same lines as the lost
Yeah,
and
the lost and
found.
found pets, unless there's anything different that we do for
On the
lost and
webpage.
found.
no, pretty much posted, no
Yeah,
thing.
that's
If
pretty
they're
much
lost and we find them, they're ours.
The spay and neuter program, I don't know if anybody's been able to find anything.
Well,
I
that's what
think
you're
that
gonna,
falls
well, that's gonna
underneath
be for all of them.
calling 151 and seeing
Oh,
what y'all
yeah.
can
Even
Oh, I
for
thought you
dogs.
meant, but I thought this was for somebody. that could-
cats?
No, somebody to come out here.
Well, if we had a facility, one of the considerations that I was thinking was within that facility, we would have an exam room or a surgical suite of some, call it surgical
Right,
suite, but
right,
you know what
right.
I'm
You have to have a
saying.
separate room for them to open them up.
Exactly, that could be sterile and we could have a visiting vet come in and do that.
Yeah.
And apparently there is a doctor, she has not called me back.
She's not going to.
Really? What happened?
Going to.
I'm just telling you.
Oh, okay, that's, am I?
Yes.
Okay. So the plan was to perhaps have a visiting vet who would come by once a month, however frequently we needed it, and have a room where they could, that's all they would do within 4 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, whatever it ends up being. So I don't think we're ready to really talk in depth about that one yet. We get number 9, we took care of.
Yeah, sure did.
Ken is supposed to be working through that.
Oh,
Catherine.
Blue Bonnet.
Blue Bonnet. Have we gotten their agreement yet? And have you made arrangements to get the freezer down here?
Well, the freezer's here and it's not cooling. I don't know if they can take it back to Michael and see if he can put some Freon in it.
Let's just
or
have Blue Bonnet provide us one. and
Yeah,
be
we're
done
just
with it.
gonna
It's
have.
free.
It's free. We're just gonna need a building to put it in. It can't be out in the elements.
Well, right over there on that wall.
Oh,
looks good.
If the door closes, they're not even gonna know.
Come
You think
on.
the spooks are gonna get you?
What's wrong with that one
Just hear
over
the
there?
pause.
Will
about we just
will
put it in
fit
the men's
that little room
bathroom?
between the bathrooms?
You're gonna hear
I
the
don't
applause
know.
when you're in here by yourself.
That's, I mean, it's not gonna be a big.
That room's only about yay wide.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as wide as the door.
It's a good sized freezer.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
probably
you're
one of
talking
those.
about out
It's
here
like
between
that.
the
He's talking about
bathrooms?
that one between
It's
the
like
bathrooms.
almost as long as
Yeah,
that credenza thing.
it's a
It's
deep
like
freeze.
freezer is?
It's a deep
Man.
freeze.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I mean,
A lot of, yeah.
Unless we can
A lot
find
of things
someone
go
that's
in
got
there.
a freezer to don't. But like I said, that one, it was running, but we hadn't tried it out in a while, and it's been sitting out in the back of a truck, and
So
it might
where
have just
were we
leaked the
thinking about
Freon.
putting it? In the covered carport area out here?
Well, I
the
thought
one
it
that-
had to be in a four-wall
No.
room.
If we didn't go with theirs, the one that you have that's here.
Yeah, I was just gonna have them put it outside
out there.
somewhere. Yeah, under the carport. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there power out there? Did we find
I
out?
think there's power,
Okay.
and I can
Because
ask
if
them
that's
to.
the case, I mean, we could buy a freezer. You know? How many dead animals has he picked up lately?
None.
There's one out there on Priest Road right now. I saw the crows eating it.
Oh,
They'll
German
be,
Shepherd.
they'll be done soon.
hopefully,
It's a German Shepherd.
When I lived in Houston in remember the economy, we were going into the recession, Harris County stopped picking up dead animals. They said, we're gonna let nature take its course, the vultures will clean them up.
that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
That's why it's
Like
legal
the
to kill
circle of
them.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we need to find out from Ken if he has got the agreement. In fact, let me grab some more of your colorful little papers over here and I'll leave him notes.
He won't be until Thursday.
I know that, but they'll be waiting for him.
Alrighty.
Okay. And we don't know about the next item either, do we?
I don't think so, unless there's
Number
been
10.
something new for the
So-
veterinarians.
I still gotta call Deasons and find out what's going on.
there is mobile pet care services, a Dr. Penny, that comes and sets up like at Lock Hill, Tractor Supplies, and whatnot.
Okay.
My girlfriend uses his service. He's a country type guy, would totally fit in out here,
He's wonderful.
isn't he?
Yeah.
And so
And it's
He's nice
called
to
what?
look
mobile
at,
pet
too.
care.
Oh, sorry.
Mobile
And
pet
it's,
care services.
Yes, and so I emailed him this evening and asked him if he would consider coming out here if we set up. He would just have to have a place. He does it inside, so he would have to have some place to do that.
Well, I suggest we move that out of the way.
This is a multifunctional room.
Yeah, I'm like,
So
oh.
I'm gonna see what he says,
Mhm.
and if you want to put that on the agenda for next
Just
time,
put a plastic
this-
wrap over
and
the.
I
There you
just
go.
haven't answered that.
Could
So
it
just
be,
Well,
could it be a travel trailer or a motorhome, or does it
quite
have to
possibly, I will ask him what his guidelines are
I
if
mean-
he agrees to come out.
What
I
his
know
requirements are.
at,
I mean, he goes all the way to, he goes around
yeah, I know at the one on Huebner,
Lock Hill.
that one, he's just in their back storeroom. He's in their,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
sets up his
back room.
table and
At
does
the
his
one
thing.
here off of Flores and Probant and something.
He
over
sets up
here.
at Rudy's, doesn't he? Sometimes.
I don't know, but this other one, I don't
be?
remember
We
the
could
name
do
of
it in
it.
here. I mean, if
More
we have it on a
or-
weekend.
Oh, I think that's what it is.
That's the
Why-
one over here, and he's not even
What
inside.
would he do?
They do have a.
What would he
they're
do?
outside.
Vaccinations,
They
just
do
a mobile vet
everything.
clinic.
He does everything.
Everything.
He'll treat anything right there.
But he's not gonna spay neuter.
No,
Well,
no.
no, but I mean, if your dog's
Oh, why
eye
not?
is infected or it has a ear
Exactly.
infection
Yeah, yeah,
or it's got a skin problem, he's totally 100% on board with doing a diagnostic as you stand there right there.
Yeah.
And are they,
So-
are his rates high or is it
No,
discounted?
so look, he has a website.
I use him. I've used him since I had my dogs.
And the website's called Mobile Pet?
He has an app.
Sure.
So he has an app as well.
Oh, good.
What is it
I'm
called?
gonna look. MPC,
Mobile Pet Care
Mobile
Service.
Pet Care, Dr.
Well, that's-
Penny.
And
Dr. Penny.
So I
Penny.
have,
see.
where is
Dr.
that?
P-E-N-N.
Pinney.
P-I.
So his website is www.mpcoftexas.com.
Texas spelled out,
Yes, ma'am.
.com.
So that's him, and his fees and whatnot are on there, and he's super reasonable, super relatable to the surroundings out here. Like this,
Very, very.
So when
very.
we talk about, when we had that on the list before, we were talking about veterinarian services for us to take animals.
Yes, but
Are
that
strays
doesn't have
too?
to be our only option.
Mm-hmm.
So, because we're not gonna have an exclusive with
We
anybody.
can't
Oh,
overwhelm
well,
just
and
one
we
doctor.
need,
No,
yeah,
no,
and
no.
we need somebody to come out here to work within the community.
Yeah,
not
because a lot of
just
people
any
can't.
stray that we pick up.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's what we have
Exactly.
for decent.
Yeah.
That's the
Somebody was
city's
asking
thing.
the other day about wanting
Right, somebody,
vaccinations.
right, somebody to come out here. What do I need? Just
And I
regular education and a resource.
And I've reached out to Wellness on Wheels again.
What, they haven't got back to you?
No.
Slackers.
Yeah. Because when they
That's
came
why
out
it's so
here, it was
hard.
very well received. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
telling you, if you put us on your standard 3-week schedule, it was working great out here.
Sure.
Now we have a place that we can physically do it. Where we were doing it here in the park, it was kind of hard for people to find, but we can go up front.
Well, yeah, right in the strip
Yeah,
center.
so I'll try to follow up with them again, but that's why I was asking. He needs something. Could it be
Let me ask him what his guidelines are when they answer me. I'm
specifically on what requirements he has?
Does it have to be in an
I know, but
enclosed-
there, all he's got at the one on the south side, they've got tables, and just so that they can, set their animals up. I don't know if they provide those or those are provided by
Okay.
by,
Yeah, we just need to
whoever.
know what he needs.
And they're just outside.
When we had
At the one on
the,
the south side, they're just outside.
years ago, when we still had the clubhouse here and it had the covered porch and
Porch,
stuff,
yeah.
and they had a vet that would come out
right.
maybe once every 3 months, and they had tables set up, and
And what's great with them
They'll
is
take
that
the
if
info.
you are uncomfortable getting your dogs out or they don't get along with other dogs, they'll come right to your car.
oh, really?
They'll come
Oh,
to
they-
your
he's
car.
it's a great resource.
Yeah, we
and
used
he-
to have a long line of people that would be just
Very,
waiting,
very.
standing there waiting to get their dogs.
Yeah, he has a long line
vaccinated.
on Saturdays at Lock Hill. Like if you don't
Yeah.
get there an hour before his setup time is,
You'll
you're
never
waiting.
get in. Yeah.
But it's
Well, because
awesome.
Yeah.
his exam fees are reasonable. He's not going to tell you something. You need to run this $300 blood panel just so I can tell you your dog does or does not have this.
Right.
Like, it's very reasonable.
But when we set it up, because of, time constraint, we might have to just be strictly vaccinations.
he won't though. He'll see whatever.
He would? Okay.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. No.
And they're
He-
only, like the one on the south side, they're there from 10 to, no.
He's 11 to 4, 5 at Lock Hill. I do know
So
that.
then he's only there from like 8 to 10:30 or 7
Yeah,
to 10:30.
he'll see what he can
something.
see within
It's
his.
only within that amount of
Oh,
time.
so others might get turned away.
he's not the only, he's not the only one. I mean, he's got his techs. The techs
Yeah.
work, and so when
Oh,
they
okay.
need him to come up to do an exam, then he's right there.
Perfect.
So there
Otherwise,
could be others
the
doing
techs
the
are doing
vaccination.
vaccines and
Yeah, stuff that
got back
he-
up. And
yeah.
if you
Oh,
just
okay.
need meds, you sign up, and you just need meds, you walk right up.
And if
so
we
you don't
can
wait.
coordinate something like that, and we can get our chips and our reader and stuff, then we can
Yeah,
have
at the same
that
time.
at the same time.
Now, who pays for all the vaccine? The people do,
The
right?
people are going to
People,
pay.
yeah.
Yeah. But if we had an animal that was picked up and needed to be
Like,
seen,
so like those puppies,
The puppies.
yeah,
right now, they can have vaccines. If the city had those on hand, I could give them to them right now.
Really?
Oh yeah,
except for rabies.
they're not old enough for rabies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can start their
Because
vaccine.
you and I talked the other day about like dewormer.
Oh, yeah.
One of the other things was like, is there a special shampoo or anything for fleas or ticks that we should consider as part of the foster program?
I mean, I can get you a list of that, but I mean, you need to add dewormer to that and look about buying a box of vaccines.
And just keep Blue Dawn on hand.
That's all I do because
That's what I do.
That's what you use for
the
fleas?
fleas pop
Really?
right off.
Yeah. Blue Dawn.
because
That's a miracle.
it's
It is.
hard.
It is.
I use
It's
it for
hard
so
to
many
use flea and
things.
tick stuff.
Yeah.
And you can order that Capstar. You can order that. The generic form of it, they sell it at Walmart, so I know you can order that online.
Okay.
And you need a broad spectrum dewormer.
Yeah.
Broad spectrum. I don't even want to know about the worm.
And you, oh my gosh, the last puppies before these, it was so bad. Oh my god, looked like spaghetti.
Oh,
So bad.
Oh my.
I'll never eat
goodness.
spaghetti
I
again.
told her it was bad. I cannot tell you, like, I don't mind picking up dogs. I do it all the time. But puppies, I cannot take the poop. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't take it. Poop too much. Especially since, you know, it's not like I'm picking up 2 or 3 puppies. 7, 9,
Exactly.
7 more. No. too much
Whatever
poop.
happened to the white puppies?
Michelle has them. They go to the Humane Society on Wednesday. I have an appointment.
And Luna? Do you still have Luna?
She got intake to the Humane Society already.
You didn't call that woman yet, did you?
Which woman?
The one right outside the park with the 2
I did
white
not. I
puppies.
can remember her name.
I can't remember.
But I'm going to
either.
stop by there on my way out of here and tell her she needs to keep those dogs contained.
Yeah, they run out all the time when I
Oh.
come
They were in
close
the
the gate.
park when I got here.
And she said when she adopted them, oh yeah, they're going to be inside dogs. Yeah,
The
yeah.
other
not.
day, I
They're
was
inside
going
the
down.
park.
I
Yeah.
was going down. What is the street right there where you come in?
Waterwood Pass, the main one? By Bolero? Waterwood Pass?
Where this lady just ran over 2 puppies. Just ran over and
Oh, geez.
And the kids were right there, the mom was right there, and the kids were crying. The little boy's trying to revive the
Jeez.
dog. So I pulled my car over and I helped him pick him up and take him. And I said, "You need to bury him."
Yeah.
But they had the gate open. The mama was there crying for her puppies, and it was just horrible.
Oh.
It was horrible. There was blood everywhere.
Mm-mm-mm.
One died instantly, and one was not gonna make it. So
People
I
need to
don't
slow down. One of these
understand
times
why
I'm
they
gonna
don't
get
do
shot
that.
because
Why
I'm
don't
honking.
Oh my
they
gosh,
just
when
close
we
their
were in the
gates?
street,
I'm
they almost
honking
ran
at
us over.
people
I know.
to slow down,
I
and
know.
I know.
I flash my lights like there's a cop up ahead.
Oh.
Gets them to slow
I
down.
just honk, and
So
they
I wa-
probably think, who is this
I
woman
wanted to
honking
tell
at
you,
me?
Lynette, that at the last meeting, we approved Chris being certified as a euthanasia.
Does he want to do it?
He said he would.
He said he'll only do dogs that are dying and
Yes.
Well, sure.
That's
I
the whole
mean,
purpose of that.
That's
Yeah.
only what that's for.
Exactly.
He talked to me about it later, and he's like, "So, like the dogs that we took to Deason's, and they
No.
were perfectly healthy." I said, "No,
No.
that's not going to be
What we're looking
You're
It's
going
at
to be
for
in the event of an
somebody
emergency."
who's injured. Exactly,
Yeah.
just like what she was talking about.
Yes, and
Strictly for that.
and you can tell him I am at his disposal.
Okay.
And
Well,
if
we did approve for him to do that.
Like, unfortunately, that puppy that was hanging on for dear life.
right.
I did. I said, he's suffering. You need to do something. So he has sent everybody inside, and of course he had to. But there was no saving the puppy.
Sure.
It was-
Well, I
it
mean,
was-
I couldn't
I
even
mean,
do that.
But he had to because
No,
the
but I
puppy was
can.
suffering.
Yeah.
I can't do that either. No,
I couldn't.
I make my other half do that. Like,
You know, he and I told him, I said,
I've never had to do that, but he has on my
Yeah.
side. But
Sometimes you
I'm
just-
happy. I'm happy to be a support for that if he needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, would
Me.
Lynette be able to do that class? Would the city pay for her to do that class?
I don't know, how much is the class?
I
Do
don't
we
know.
know?
I haven't. I was
Maybe
talking to
something
you
else.
about that. My girlfriend's looking it up for me. So
Because if Chris is not available.
But that was the
or-
ACO, that was the ACO
right,
training.
but she wants. I want to take the euthanasia
Euthanasia
class
anyway, yeah.
because I'm constantly on call.
And I need to see if there's like prerequisites.
Right. I don't think there is, but just in case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Catherine will find out for Chris, and then
Yeah,
she'll just
I'll let
share
you-
that information with you.
Please. I mean, I'm happy to.
Okay, next on the agenda?
The facility.
Number 11, discuss or possible action on a containment facility.
I don't think we're there yet. I
Still
think
researching.
We still need a little bit more work. What I'd like to do, Doug brought this for all of us. Catherine made some copies. This, I think, is very helpful because it we've kind of struggled with what we can, what we have to do, what's optional, those type things. So I don't know that we need to go over that here. I think if everybody just takes it and looks through it, and then as we're kind of trying to put together a plan.
Another one, and I'll give it,
Want one?
put it on Chris's desk. I've got one on
Oh,
mine.
okay.
But I,
Yeah, it's a form from the DSHS office that they use to inspect facilities, and it just
It's
has
just
what's,
like a guideline.
yeah, what's mandatory, what's optional, and that Horizon, is it Horizon?
Horizon
Structures.
Structures,
Yeah.
yeah.
The lady that is their well, she's their, I don't know, I guess she's like their salesperson or something. Anyway, she went over this list and wrote down on here what they can provide. And
So all the mandatories, yes.
she put yes by what they can do, and optional which would be extras. You know, you can order it with that. It would be optional. And some things she says no to, but it wouldn't be in the building anyway, like a perimeter fence.
Right.
You know, that wouldn't be.
So item B on here is interesting. I hadn't quite figured,
Waste
really thought
disposal?
about this, yeah. So what do you do for
Septic-
waste disposal?
Septic
What do you
tank.
mean?
I mean, where are we putting it?
Poop?
Mhm.
The trash.
Oh, really?
Yeah. it
Okay.
doesn't
What
go
about the
to-
urine, like when you gotta wash
Yeah.
down the kennels and stuff? Where does
It
it go?
has to
Just
go
in?
somewhere.
It could go, why can't it go in a French drain?
I mean, are you gonna put drains in the?
Well, I don't know.
building?
I was thinking more about poop than,
You can go in the
Well,
trash.
that's just
Okay.
pick up
But,
and,
but it needs to be picked up. Like if you pick them
Exactly.
outside,
yeah.
you got to pick up the poop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now if they mess
Get a
in their
pooper
kennel, you
scooper.
just pick it up. You can put it in the trash.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be.
But you
anything
just
special.
have to. The liquid waste has to go somewhere though. It can't. You can't just wash it out onto the ground. There has to be like a septic tank, you know, something like that.
not even a French drain?
It's
Well,
gotta go
it's still
somewhere.
got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
we
that-
happen to
when
know
they pee
people in
on
the
when they pee on the
business.
tree, it goes somewhere. That's my thought.
Yeah, but not in massive quantities.
Yeah, I don't think they'll let you
Yeah.
wash it out onto the ground.
What
It
is?
says
I wonder
here,
what
is animal waste
Elmendorf
removed through a
does.
sanitary sewer, septic system, or garbage. So something to consider then, if we're gonna put this up at the the lot up front, we could ensure that a septic system that's installed up there for a municipal complex accommodates this as well, and then we're good, right?
Well, we're going to have to. If we're going to put a building there, you know, it doesn't matter what we use the septic tank for. I mean, it could,
Right, but I'm just saying, make sure the septic tank is
Oh,
sized
I mean,
for
could
that.
be used for both. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Something in the future.
okay.
So all of their the mandatory stuff, it looks like, other than septic, but all, you know,
You need potable water, electricity.
well, that's not up to the facility, to Horizon to
No,
provide.
no, but what I'm saying is for us in planning a facility,
But where
the
they put-
mandatory items we need to consider.
Yeah, but they put yes on a lot of the mandatory.
Yeah.
That they can.
Oh, okay, so question for you. These mandatories and optionals, this was filled out by Horizon Structures.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, this is not from the state on what their requirements are.
Yes, it is.
Well, this is their checklist.
Oh,
but-
so the
but
fill in
Horizon-
the yes
first
or no.
column is the state.
No, this is what state requires.
No.
Yes.
I'm saying right here. where it
Oh,
says
that one,
M&O.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what
mandatory and
the state-
optional. Yeah, mandatory and
that's
And
optional.
then the answers under yes or no were filled in by
Horizon,
Correct.
yes.
Perfect. Okay, that's where I was going.
So that's
Yeah.
what I was saying, a lot of the mandatory stuff, they've put down that,
If Horizon Structures has it.
yes,
Got
it
it.
could be an option that you can add to it, for example, the
They
very
wrote it-
last one.
Horizon wrote in optional. They can add it.
Yes. Okay. So optional under heating, ventilation and cooling for indoor facilities. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that was optional.
Yeah,
And after what we saw out of Kirby, like,
It doesn't have to be deluxe.
it was not deluxe.
I wonder where their waste goes.
Well, it wasn't
They
that. I don't
Still
know.
wanna know where their waste goes. Why
It was the heating and cooling that was of interest to
Oh,
me.
yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, and I mean, they were massive cooling units.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen big cooling, these were
No, they're
bigger.
called porta-cools.
Oh, they were the portacools?
The big
Water
ones.
coolers?
The water coolers?
The water cool, yeah.
The swamp coolers, as
Yeah.
some people call them. Because they get a lot of they make a lot of humidity.
So I think this is a really good basis for us to use as we kind of figure out on a containment facility. I just don't think we're there yet, but we need to get there. We need to kind of figure out. Lynette and I were talking over the weekend about the amount. How many holding kennels are we looking at? She came up with like no more than 10, which I think I'm okay with that.
I was thinking 10.
Because one thing, when we went out to Kirby, they had 56.
Oh my God.
When you have that many, you have to have staff. You have to have paid staff there to take care of that. And that was amazing, the amount of, when you went into where the laundry room was, the bowls that are stacked up in the sink. I mean, they have volunteers that come in and wash them. But just, if you think about the bedding and the cleaning the kennels and
There's
just
no
all
way
of
it's
it.
just volunteers.
Yeah,
No, I
that was
would
a
stick
lot.
with 10, no more than 10. That's doable, I would imagine.
I would think so.
Anything more than that is just too much.
Becomes too much. Okay, so we'll put
Selma
10.
just had about 10.
Did they?
Theirs is a real small facility.
So I think what's very interesting about all of this is that I honestly did not believe that starting out, we could approach the no-kill numbers that we're approaching. I just thought the problem was so big and so
That we were going to
overwhelming
have to
that we
euthanize.
would there would just have to be a number of animals put down. But I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing,
I have not I've lived out here 5 years this fall, and I have saved probably safely, not including this year, over 100 animals from out here.
yeah,
I had to euthanize them.
that's awesome.
I mean,
Because,
some of them I've had to hold a long time,
yeah,
but that's my choice
Yeah.
until the right,
Right.
whatever comes up.
But eventually,
it's doable. It's just
Yeah.
a lot of work.
it is a lot of work.
and eventually the citizens need to realize that you can't just bring a dog out here and then just say, oh, I'm
Right.
tired of it, let it loose. I mean, there's got to be a consequence of doing that instead of,
Exactly.
Volunteers just constantly
all
picking 'em up.
their mindset, though. They think they don't.
Well, then they need to be
understand that these
fined.
Animals
Exactly.
depend on
Right,
them.
when it starts
they don't
costing
get
them
it.
money.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Hit them in the pocket and be like, okay,
Yeah.
Right.
If
we
you
start
start
picking
finding
up a
them,
lot
they'll
more
start
and more
getting
dogs.
it.
that's what I
Exactly.
mean, yeah.
We're going to pick up a lot. They're just not going to be adoptable. And
No, I agree. I think there are some
Yeah, plus
that
it
are,
just, oh yeah, there's going to be some that are going to be feral and scared and not
or
Yeah.
vicious or
right.
whatever.
Have medical issues.
But
And
I would
of course,
also
if
like
that-
to see if we do get like a owner surrender and give, tell them, okay, we'll take it in, but it's gonna cost you
Exactly.
$150 or whatever. you
Yeah,
know.
and see, and Doug, I don't think we have that provision in our ordinance for a voluntary surrender.
I don't think so, no. I'm trying to remember, but I think we
Because
left
right
it out
now, my
on
message
purpose,
to everybody
actually.
is we don't do voluntary surrender. If you want to surrender, you need to find.
Sure, they need to find a facility, but
Exactly.
But I was just saying that for I'm going to carry one on me.
No, I know.
And they can sign it over to me because I do not need no one coming to my house talking about how they want their dog back.
I think
Yeah.
we
You
purposely-
voluntarily
But like
say-
with the Chad
You're
thing,
done.
if you really don't want these dogs and you're gonna allow them to run out in,
only
in
because
the
the
street.
community has all seen those dogs,
Yeah.
and I have documentation. You said on this day,
Exactly.
you don't want them no more. I'll take them and
Well,
find
it's
them
like
a place.
the gentleman Chris went to. He said
Yeah.
he didn't care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If Chris
Chad,
took him, if he took him that day,
he'd have been
he'd
happy.
be happy.
Yeah, he would have been.
All of them.
And
Yeah.
and I sent the sheriff to talk to
He
him.
doesn't- he
and
doesn't care.
They had left already, so he called back and he's like, "I got a card from I said, Sheriff Marshall," and I said, "Yes, probably. I think it's about your dogs." And he's like, "What about them?" And I said, "You can't have them running." out.
Well, and you know
Especially
what?
on priests.
I said, you're
I'm
And
gonna
you know
start
what?
finding
You know
you.
why
Oh my
they
gosh,
come out
they're
when
gonna
they
get
see me?
Run down.
Exactly.
Because they know I'm feeding them.
Oh,
Oh yeah, they come right over.
Yeah, they haul because they know, oh my God, there's food. Because I
So
don't
he
even know
doesn't
if
want him
needs them or-
anymore. Like if we picked him up, he wouldn't care.
I don't think he
Oh, he
cared.
wouldn't care.
I really don't think he cared.
Not
I think
Joe.
if you went and
He'll
talked
be
to him,
happy
he
when
would
you put
probably
that on my
say,
list, 'cause
Go ahead,
it's
take
super
him.
adoptable dog.
One of
He's the one where
the
DNC
big one is
Services is.
just as
Yeah,
Oh, it
ours.
was
I mean,
Chad?
she's just so
Yeah,
sweet.
Chad. That's what I'm saying.
The big one, the big brown dog he's got, she's a heart. She's a heart. She's just all lush, just wants attention, and just as sweet as can be. The other two little ones, they're just as cute as can be. Cute as buttons.
And he won't get him spayed or neutered.
He won't.
He
He's
just-
dead.
That's how irresponsible
They shouldn't be
he
running
is.
in the yard. He said, out of the yard.
And they're probably going to start interbreeding.
Mm-hmm.
birth defects.
Yeah. But yeah, I bet you he would say, yeah, go ahead
I'm
and
sure
take
he
him.
would.
He probably wouldn't say it if his child was around.
yeah,
He's got a
right.
little girl. He might have more than one child.
Yeah, I think he does.
I know he's for sure he's got a girl. He might have a girl and a boy.
Well, once Anne moves out who she has told me that she'll help. I mean, if we're going to provide help to her,
We can provide
she
help to
has the
her.
room to hold them, and I could just put her like on the foster thing.
She needs to let us know what she needs, or she needs to let
She,
you know.
right. She
Yeah.
and she's all about doing that.
Yeah.
I've talked to her about that already,
Okay,
and what she wants, what she can provide, and what she needs help with,
okay,
because she has an outlet to move them.
Good.
Which I do not have time to facilitate,
yeah,
but I can
She
help
does.
her,
She
and
does.
she already has those things in place,
perfect.
and I trust her, and the lady that helps her, I trust her.
When you say she has a way to move them,
She
like
has people.
the
Trans-
north, oh,
so she
transport them.
transports them to fosters that are lined up through certain rescues up north. They go. That's the only thing I will work with is if they go straight to foster, not to a shelter up
Exactly.
north. They're going to go to a shelter. They're going to go to a shelter here where I've already been there. I know somebody that works
Right.
there. I have recourse if something doesn't go right and I don't like it. I can take the animal back.
Yeah.
That's why I like using the Humane Society. If I get an animal intake there and it doesn't do well, they'll email me and be like, okay, you come get it because it's not working. Doesn't like the shelter environment. I use it mainly, I don't have time for adoptions. And I don't have to pay to get them fixed. They provide all that. Then
That's
it works.
awesome.
And they also transport out too.
Can we go back to the education real quick?
yeah.
I think it's also important that people know Easter is not the time. Easter, Christmas,
bunnies.
do not give bunnies.
Chickens.
I
Yeah.
saw a lady
Puppies
had,
at Christmas.
we do, yeah, those dwarf bunnies are like 3 weeks old. I saw a lady had posted about her dwarf bunnies, and I promptly messaged her accordingly and said thank you, but no thank you.
Yes.
I saw
Needless to
that.
say, I did not get a reply.
What's a dwarf? I mean, they just
It's not a real thing.
It's not, it's
There's
just
no
their
such
babies
thing?
right now.
Their babies.
It's like
Yes.
someone trying to say
So-
that a potbelly pig is going to
It's
be a
a-
mini because it's
It's
only.
a micro
It's still
mini
gonna be a
pig
big
because
bunny.
it's a
Did she
baby.
take her
gonna be-
post down, or she probably got them all sold before she could?
I cannot say because she's not answered me, and I've not
Okay.
seen her on there. And I heard she was set up somewhere selling them.
So in
I'm all
our
over
city
that.
limits, our ordinance bans, you cannot give them away, you cannot sell them, you cannot breed them.
Well, hopefully somebody will see her and say
Well,
something.
And if that's the case,
She's probably
then-
gotten rid of them all. Probably already sold them all.
But my point was,
Right.
those times of year, that's when people think,
That's
oh,
another
isn't
thing
that
that needs
cute?
to go on
Yes,
the
especially
postcard.
And
Christmas.
baby chicks.
Baby chick.
Yeah.
Because they buy the puppy for Christmas, it's cute, and then the puppy starts growing, peeing and pooping. They're like,
Yeah, it's too
Oh.
big.
Outside, yeah.
Like this woman right here. The puppies were cute then.
She's
Now
got
they're
the
getting
collars
bigger.
on them.
She get, yeah.
And they're cute, but I was like, get, you know, and instead of going out the gate, they go under the fence. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's the way
like
they came
5
in.
feet away from the gate, they go under the fence instead.
Gate's wide open.
I cannot say.
Okay, so we have
That's
one
your
more.
nut. Oh yeah, we do have one more.
One more.
Adjourn.
And somebody make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Oh, I
Okay.
can't do that.
You can't. I motion.
I second it.
Okay.
What time is it?
What time?
It
I need dinner.
is
8:05.
8:05, adjourn. Okay.
5. And off with this.